to take into consideration the last two opponents Talon have had. It's been C9, it's been CAG. Which isn't an easy run in the final three, especially if you're battling for that sort of point. Yeah, okay, the counter argument to that is that they had an easier start to the season, so maybe that's why they got up. But when you build momentum in a season, you know, that it's tough to go up against these teams when they're at their kind of setup and position. So Fnatic took a 7-0 last game, and they put a great fight in against Guts, and they took the game against CAG. I think Talon might put up a little bit more of a fight than that vote insinuates.
Of course they will be. But the issue I was trying to refer to with the throw was the fact that they had such good setups on Chalet, that was, against Cyclops. But instead of deciding to utilize these setups, they just threw their buddies out of the window, constantly trying to go for the gunfights. And as a result, Cyclops able to win so many of these rounds. So it's a massive point that Talon can improve in for today's matchup on Chalet. They already have the setups. They just need to be a little bit more AFK right now, as some teams will call it, instead of going out of every window they can manage to find themselves. Either way, the pressure is on. We're not going to go for a four-way tie to decide the last two places, as only one is left unlocked right now. Cloud9, Cyclops, and Guts already find themselves in the playoffs, of course. The first two will be fighting it out later for the championship matchup. And it's Talon and Fnatic, the last two teams that have the opportunity of reaching the playoffs, and of course does have the opportunity of getting any of these SI points for SI 2022.
Opting for the start inside kitchen, and as was sort of hinted at the other on the desk at the moment, there was that the basement hasn't seen a huge amount of play. It's kind of become a little bit of, I guess, a point of contention. Some teams are finding it tougher to hold. We've seen teams pretty much entirely abandon the hold on it and put 4 bodies over the top 2 stories and just leave, surprisingly, a warden down there a couple of times, which is, I guess it gives you a bit of a prep against a region that does enjoy smoke and Ying pushes. But either way, it's a lot more that's offered to you on these top floors. You get those huge angles that you can play right across from the corner of, say, Library and Trophy, all the way down across either side, regardless of whether you're on the top or the bottom. You have options and openings, and you can see that those are being steadily played with there. With the hatch rotation possibility in place 2, expect confrontations all over the shop.
Expect it indeed. It looks like Talon looking to go for a Library side push. Very logical, considering that, of course, it is going to be the lesser contested side. It allows you to set some foot in the building without having to struggle too much, as he right here finds out the fact that one is going to be located on Solarium stairs, or at least in a Solarium. So we'll be giving that call out, giving Talon maybe a little bit more freedom on taking that top floor control right now.
Hanging out and waiting for somebody to pass around the crux of the giant L that is Chalet. It's pressure from multiple aspects, sides, windows, and seeing if they can just find the first body to pull apart and try and pinch and pincer somebody out. It's a matter of, obviously, intel gathering, and what you'll actually sometimes see is around those Solarium windows, with the kind of offered support you get on the opposite side around piano and around the bathroom, you can kind of dig in and treat it a little bit how you would consular. But this is a much more intense battle pressure we're seeing come through around the Library hallway. It's actually Styx that opens up. The Ying is gone. No Candelas will be played. Dropped on that piano window. I talked about the pressure you can apply there, and, well, they can apply it just the same back.
Talon now trying to push in. You have Canis coming out from K9, hoping to enter the office. Drones are coming out. You saw one of the members of Fnatic earlier struggle with finding that drone. He's being red pinged. Couldn't find it. Tried to go for many spots, and as tomorrow now pushes through, there is going to be the little bit of information being given away about the proximity alarm. Pushing through in piano. So far, no joy yet, but there's about 70 seconds left in Tax. He's going to be pushed from the side, and I don't think he knows at this moment in time. Might cause him to be fall. No, he will stay alive and rotate back into Trophy. Tomorrow missed the opportunity there for the equalizer, and that might come back to them in these last 50 seconds.
Well, that's it. They've got the top and they've been able to put some damage down, but now they need to actually get into the site itself. There's only so much that you can do from above. Maverick is trying to force them away from the wall so he can maybe get some of those explosives, but it doesn't quite land. Tex and Alfama, they're suffering either side, but the clarity is coming from above and the wall will fall as it's popped over on the far right by the Selmas. They're making sure they have those deep sight lines all the way to the back. The 4 bodies of Fnatic are kind of setting themselves up for a bit of a hold as the fifth goes for a bit of a rotate, but it's Alfama that strikes first. I'm not sure if that was up through the verticality, but either way, it was able to take a body out of the mix, and now with only 15 seconds, Talon, well, they did a lot on the clear above, but now they've actually got to try and get some clarity inside the site itself. They dig deep behind the dining room table and try and offer cover on all the multiple different angles, but they just swing round. There's an attempt on revenge, but there is Fnatic locking it down.
One of the kills coming down, and the member carrying the diffuser down there. So the back coming in up from the one man that was still down below. Taking a part there in both those final eliminations that came through, and thus Fnatic, as you see in the live rankings, currently make it up to third. Would be securing themselves a spot, as we mentioned before, in those playoffs. But they need to continue. They need to get those 7 rounds first, and only 6 more to go now between them and a potential playoff spot.
Now, in big games like this, when there's so much on the table, caution sometimes becomes a bit of a problem. This is a map where we have statistically so far seen attackers have a pretty good time with it, able to dispatch a lot of the defenses. Things are still being worked out. It's cheeky angles and holds that aren't quite working. Okay, that's the development of any map that's brought into the pool. But what you're also looking at is teams that know how much they have to play for here. And usually that sort of shakiness on a confidence, that sort of possibility and the weight of how much pressure is usually most seen on a team's attack. It's when they're really trying to drive the pace and set themselves up. If they find themselves second guessing, well, you don't have the support structure of your pre-set up defense to help with that. So I have a feeling whichever team can kind of heat up on their attacks a little bit more and shake those, this is it, this is the game, and this is what gets us to playoffs jitters, we might see a little bit more progress there.
So far, Fnatic taking that initiative right here, and it's something we've been mentioning before. So far, the map seems to be going more towards the attackers. However, that doesn't always mean that that is going to be the case. It's still a new map, it's still in development, and that could just as well mean that we're having 2 teams right here, for example, that are feeling way more comfortable on the defense than some of the others would. So we literally won't know until we're literally in the last couple of rounds right here. Yes, so far, good start for Fnatic. They managed to shut them down. Now find themselves in bar. There is not going to be a Mira, as it has been Ben. It's often an operator you see being used for the side pantry room. Able to look inside of course, the bar. Now, instead, we have Alfama now onto the Echo. It's going to be bringing those yokais out, trying to get some information, seeing whether or not the push is coming down from blue, for example, or from the bottom 4 period. As they just keep rotating around as some shots are being fired, but nothing will be found yet.
Steady intel gathering seems to be the MO here, and to be fair, last time the first body was dropped from somebody trying to crouch walk around on the cover. They obviously caught the body on the window holding it before they could pull back, but it was to try and alleviate that Zafir getting in, and well, it seems like they're going with a little bit more pace here as they clear their way across the top, making sure they take it room by room, steady by steady, and now they can start trying to apply that pressure. The box gets opened, and well, Aziz suffers a huge amount down below. Not 100% sure. There looks like there might be a body just off on the top, but it's otherwise still a big danger when you're looking at those Capcan traps. You're looking at obviously Aruni Gates and Frost. It's a worry to approach those with not a full bill of health.
There you have it. 2 of the ADS is now got taken out. A grenade will be making sure that the shield will collapse, and that is going to be making it a lot more difficult. Soldier with a beautiful grenade will be landing it right behind Lusty, but Tech still up here, having a shield, but he's missing the shot. Soldier with a double kill, very big. It's going to be the reply sticks coming in. He's going to go for the double. No, Soldier, that will land that triple. And with 60 seconds left right now, there's plenty of time for them to push out for this 1v4. It's only up to Alpha now.
It's an Echo drone, and well, no Echoes home. That was pacey from Talon. They knew what they wanted to take, and they found themselves setting up pretty stoically together. The difference here between the round that they played in the opener was that it was it. They were together. That was the big difference. They dedicated themselves to taking control of box, setting their sights directly onto that first shield on the top of those stairs at the back, then rotating around to get that body inside library as well. It was kind of step by step instead of caution. And, well, the pressure was a little bit too much for Fnatic, who are going to head over to the master bedroom instead.
Couldn't make the bar stick. Had some great setup there with the grenades. knew what the setup and the approach of Talon would be in that case, and well, perfectly got them to fall into their traps. But if a grenade will then be taking care of one of your players onto those back stairs, onto the library stairs, a soldier just going insane, winning the gunfight against another shield right after, well, in that moment in time, only Talon was going to be picking up that win right there. Very well executed, very well taken care of the power position set up by Fnatic. Thus, they will now be forced to rotate around, of course, not due to a round win, but due to the massive fail they have just, well, went through. As only Alphama was left in a 1v4 situation, not really ideal.
Going for the extension, the use of the castles there to make sure that they have some eyes around the bathroom. We talked about how solid a position that can be and how important it can be to a lot of teams' holds. And, you know, it's something where you sort of keep that mobility around the backside of the site, and the danger is a lot tougher to put on to that location and the place. But obviously, if a team gets laser focused on that site, and we've already seen how talented Talon can be with those clawed attacks, using utility, using and bouncing those frag grenades around the corners after burning the ADSs, well, might be something that they find themselves setting up to try to take down. Quick pace here onto the solarium windows and making sure again they have the lockdown on the movement and the momentum. Tomorrow is flirting with the idea of heading in underneath inside Trophy to potentially push up the stairs, but the angles that have been opened above, well, that puts a little bit of caution to the wind.
It does have to be explored first, try and find out whether or not someone is indeed watching. And well, the Cade that is playing close is currently not watching it, but is going to be very well aware of Canas opening up a little bit there. Both just holding off onto each other. Both know that one is on the other side of the rotation. There's Azzy. Gets the opening kill. Will be Sticks that falls. It's a smoke to be gone. 3 smoke canisters no longer available to be used. And as they instantly use an E1D to maybe take some ground. Where did the kill actually come through from the smoke if Azzy is all the way in the basement? CSI medics.
Did the kill really happen at all?
Is he even dead?
Oh, there he is. Wow, verticality, probably from the downstairs stair, but in the meantime, we're starting to see some pressure there as Mag and Lusty are able to find one apiece. Obviously, Tex was dropped in the meantime, but being able to take out all of that soft destruction potential, the ability to burn through a lot of ADS is going to make the use of those frag grenades. Sure, they're talented, but you got to be more than talented to make it count, missing all of that extra soft destruction range. So, with a minute on, they're going for a bit of a big rotate here. Lusty heads down to Wine. The Echo drone was offering some support to see if they could see if anybody else was around. Labyrinth might be the first point of contention, and obviously there's still E1Ds on the board, depending on when they get popped. Who saw who? Nobody saw anybody, as it's the slowest game of cat and mouse, and unfortunately we won't get the revelation at the end of who catches who because they've decided to go to different staircases.
Decided to go up and ascend into different places indeed, as Lusty is taking his time. Slowly getting back into the library, of course, has the opportunity to decide to go for a flank, but Stat will be pushing back. Got spotted by the E1D. Flashbangs now will be tossed up, and that means Talon will be going for the push right here. Mag will fall, and that brings us to a 3v2 situation.
Here's the quick pressure coming through now. Obviously still have those Echo drones, but back on the other side of the box, he might be in a bit of danger if they just go deep and go swinging towards him. No frag grenades. They've got to put pressure with the guns where it counts, and this is where it counts the most. That drone keeping a firm eye on anything that might try and get stuck down. Just has to time this. He hasn't been detected as of yet. There's nobody to pick it up. Lusty's on the cover on the opposite side. There it is, and there it is. Fnatic had the pace and played it perfectly.
Alphama just holding tight right there. He's like, all right, countdown. This is about 1 second left. Let's send a Sonic Burst. And at that moment, the timer hit 0. He was back down with the lunchbox, but of course had no opportunity to try and challenge the yokai. So the second one quickly sent after, and that is going to be the second round for Fnatic now on that board. And Wine Cellar Snowmobile is coming out. Either way, like we said it before, it's not often played. Alphama picking up a Kavera, but I am expecting that to be 6-picked out. Just a slight expectation. There you have it. To a clash. Okay.
When you're counting, what do you use?
I'm counting.
How do you measure it? Say you're in that position, or say you're cooking a grenade. Are you an elephant sort of person, or? Because you got to get it right. It's the most important
elephants?
counting. Yeah, like 1 elephant, 2 elephant, 3 elephant. So you get it right second. You know? You know what I'm saying?
I use the index finger on grenades 9 out of 10 times.
Okay,
which then went up.
What if you're on the Echo drone?
You just look at the clock. Like
Is that-
you can look at the clock and you see when he plans, so you can count back from 7, right?
I guess I'm just wondering if that's a universal system. I don't know.
No.
People around the world, if you, what do you use in
elephants?
place of that? Do you use one elephant to it, or do you use something else to
Use
meet the
Mississippi?
seconds? Because Mississippi, that's another one.
Yeah.
There's a, you know, just food for thought. I thought I would throw out there as we find ourselves heading down to
go.
snow mode. Whoa, hey, what's this play? Oh, it's the Clash play that was first.
It's gonna
put
AFK
together.
again.
Yeah, it's you dig in and you stop them being able to pop things through that drone hole. We first saw it played by Giants. The big brain of Gig was able to bring this to the forefront, and then a lot of teams went, oh, I quite like that. Because it stops this. They're trying to find the toe and the angle, but no. He's too busy looking at the wall and he's playing this perfectly.
Look at the patience.
Severely limits how teams can get in, and they're just trying to pepper everything, but no entry.
I don't know if you saw Alfama's face as soon as he went up there. He just made like a nice little flick up to the... He's just AFK now. Yeah, look at that. One hand off the monitor. Doesn't
One hand
matter.
off.
He just has to sit here, keep that laser sight right on that corner of the brick.
That's styling on him. You know,
That's all he has to do.
The mute jammer stops in. As you can see, this is entirely stumped. That push and that attack, so instead they're going to have to head to the top. Now, I know that when I first started the site of how we've actually seen it played in this region so far is a lot of defense around the rest of the map, and this is probably one of the first times I've seen it played by a team in this region, especially where they've locked themselves down underneath. They've handed over the top 2 stories, and that can be a bit of a dangerous gambit because of all of this soft above, inside the fireplace, the landing. It's dangerous. There's a lot of angles and pinch points that become slightly tougher to hold onto and slightly less accessible for the defense, as well as those hatches that are obviously pretty important to try to crack open now. And with no Kaid on the board, it's just a matter of getting it blown open.
Sledge been sitting there really on that drone for 2 minutes, and as soon as he rotates off, you see Alfama instantly deciding to get on the shield, making sure that the main stairs will be taken care of. As right now the breach does, however, come through. Sticks with the entry, though, will be taken down Azzy with the shotgun. It's going to be one that they need, and there's only little time left right now. However, 60 seconds, and well, they will be starting to push down into blue. They'll probably be starting to push down into main as well as they hope to take control. But there is going to be a shield around the corner, maybe, and also a shotgun waiting. And the question is, are they aware of Sticks' position?
Well, there's one at the back of blue as well, so Styx is on the close corners, but they have the ability to try and swing for the response and the revenge. There's the drone dropped by the mute jam and then dropped from the opposite side. This draws attention, and that draws a sledge. He almost missed it. He's going for a third, but nobody's come close. Step for step, the blows are happening around the door, but it's a flawless for Fnatic, who locked themselves in and put their third on the board.
Living mirror window right here. We sometimes say it about Monty, but right there, the clash can also be used for it. Double kill coming down from Tex is allowing Fnatic to put their third on the board. And, well, we got to give some respect to Alphama. First, he's playing the Echo, literally just waiting for the right moment. Now he's playing, like, sitting 2 minutes, just watching the roof, having some chill. And then functioning as a living mirror window, basically making sure that Fnatic is going to be able to lock that one off. But that shotgun kill there in blue, that almost got way too close. He missed the first shot.
Like the gun barrel looked like it went past Sledge's head.
It was like it's through the head already, you know? Like
just tried to bayonet him. This is modern warfare. We don't have a bayonet operator yet.
Not yet. Imagine though, if it's gonna be like
can we
Oryx
just attach
ability.
knives to Oryx, yeah. Just
Yeah.
cover his front in knives.
Have like a little spiky suit
Ubisoft
on.
balancing team, if you're listening, stop listening. We go back to kitchen.
Yeah.
We go back to kitchen. They set themselves up again. Now, if we remember how this hold started, it was Fnatic were able to drop the body on the windows on the attempted early entry and attempted early push. Then it was a quick almost response from Tamara. I believe it was creeping across the top as Zafia, but that was so much time Talon had taken out of them by just the play that was going on above. They need to find a little bit more pace if they want to put more pressure onto Fnatic, because sure, it got them that pocket and they were able to open it, but by that time Fnatic had entirely rotated down. I believe there was one body that was playing underneath, but they had the option to rotate back up via the main stairs if they wanted to, or any of the options truly. and they just couldn't find themselves into dining. So it seems like they're going with a little bit more chutzpah this time round, and that's what you need.
Pushing it through library yet again, as the Electroclaw mag will not be reaching. Oh, well, it will be reaching 2, but not the 2 I think he wants. He wants to get that most left in one as well, but he wants to push it as far towards the right as possible due to potential, I would say, vertical angles to be used. As tomorrow just saw someone pick up some barbed wire right there. He might be a bit confused about that one.
Wow, that's it. And tomorrow's going to try and creep round. This pre-fire is happening around the side of the piano corner. They're still connected onto the bedroom itself, holding the pixel angle and trying to bait Fnatic into making a mistake at this point. Canos setting themselves up on the double window, which is going to force those two bodies to be severely isolated. You can see there's the castle that allows a bit of the rotation, but now with that shield gone around the kitchen as well, that leaves Mag in a very tricky situation to just hold on for as long as possible inside box, buy the defenders as much time as possible, and Stigs is going to buy him all the support he could need, plays sweet, beautiful music, if that is to kill someone right over the top of the old piano. And now, well, Stigs is able to double up somewhere else.
As he had the opportunity to go for the refrag, but was not ready yet as he was droning out. He's going to be having to try and find himself an entry right now into either piano, library hallway, or maybe even into the bathroom if he's feeling adventurous. Spots out the head, but he's not going to be able to go for frag yet. And, well, it is actually being held that angle as Canis now will go down. It's Lusty to pick up that kill. Be rotating up onto the stairs in Solarium, hoping to support. As Styx picks up yet another one, and Labyrinth, well, he wants to take control, but he's the last man standing in the meantime. And it all started out by hunting down Mag early on in the game, and, well, everybody literally fell around him without Mag actually having to do anything.
I was gonna say, you talk about how much pressure it is saving Private Mag, and, well, luckily for him, the Bright Orange Cavalry showed up and were able to kind of tally-ho themselves either side. And now, well, you're pushing a very tough angle. There's 3 different ways, and an Echo Drone's making their presence known just for the hell of it. 30 seconds and 5 bodies to get through. You have the diffuser, sure, but you probably don't have much time left because he's just round the corner. Stigs need the triple for the round, and that's the 3rd time he's found himself able to get the entry too.
3rd time for the entry, the 2nd flawless round in a row right here for Fnatic. I like how we're talking about elephants a little bit earlier on, and he's just using the elephant skin. Do you notice?
I didn't, but I'm glad you pointed it out.
There is. It's just, you know, he's trying to prove a point here. He's using elephants. He's trying to communicate with us.
Yeah. Well, no, you hope not, because
that would be,
then they're watching the stream.
But Talon,
no, they're not.
What do they need to do? Because so far, Fnatic is doing very well on their defense. We know, of course, that Talon has very well thought out setups for the defense themselves. But you do kind of want to get 3 rounds in. Well, that's no longer possible, so they're going to have to go for the next best thing, which is going to be 2. That's why they call the tactical timeout now. What do we need to do to make sure that we are going to be taking this next round, the 6th round, onto our tally? Because they need it if they want to be going to playoffs, because Fnatic right now is in the driver's seat. Fnatic right now is only 3 rounds away of making it to playoffs.
Fnatic, it's been really smooth sailing so far. They've kind of obviously had little bits of shaky moments, but as soon as they've started to pick themselves up into this game over the past few rounds, it's just confident. They're kind of rolling into the idea of the defense. They're setting themselves up. They haven't massively been challenged structurally, I would say, over the past few rounds, where they've been able to kind of play themselves in terms of their holds. They've been able to keep themselves very far away from the site for when the damage sort of kicks into gear. It's close shotgun angles at the bottom of blue stairs pushing up around the corner. It's, you know, playing Mag in box with all of that support and then realizing they have the upper hand and then bringing in more support, including Echo Drones. That's confident. And having that going into your attacks, that puts Fnatic in a really good place.
Especially if they're going to be able to pick up yet another defensive round here. There will be a 1-5, and surely they will not throw that lead. I know I kind of curse it when I use those cursed words, but it is a setup that we've seen before, actually. We do... Oh, look at that. He's just just being so precise with the placement of those electroclaws, just pushing them as far off of the wall as possible. Like, I'm not sure if grenades can actually go over that one, but it's of course to potentially deny any player from below trying to hit it directly off the wall, because it's going to be like a meter backwards now. So making it a little bit harder for the vertical play to get in.
Now then, as they start to apply themselves, and
Azzy pushing down on that basement. We are finding someone on that drone. Not able to reply as of yet, and might be calling out for some help right there for that roam clear.
And the pressure's coming a lot quicker, and you wonder what was in that team talk. Obviously, it's one of those moments where, you know, they're looking at their situation. They've played it now, and they've played it earlier, other than a lot of other teams who sometimes find themselves use it on the 5th round, but they know what they need to secure, and, well, that's not the best way to secure it. Canos is dropped. Jurash is gone yet again. Another blow, as that is some big potential utility to pop upwards and really apply pressure towards those holds and locations. They also lost the Zavia quite early. Last time they were doing this push previously as well. They still have her for now, and they at least have Tex too. Bring the body balance back to even split. There's somebody who hot drops out of there. Lusty is making sure they don't get caught unaware. They had their Hatcher rotate, and they were sure to use it. They're pre-placing, but that puts another body up to the air. Where are they? Soldier rotates away just as they come up via main stairs.
Yeah, rotates away indeed, and potentially will be thinking about going onto a repel a bit later on, as first using that Gemini, trying to take care of a potential trophy push. Now will be maybe walking up to the stairs, hoping to get some information. Gets the spot out though. C4 will be used, but will not be exploding yet. Oh, had the opportunity there to get the kill down onto Labyrinth, but instead Mag using everything he had to try and rotate back. And this is the shield we've been talking about. This is such a powerful shield and can be used to try and challenge Solarium for oh so long. But there is going to be that one ADS there protecting him from it. He needs to be careful though. If they do take care of this shield, he is guaranteed to be dead, and he is going to be going aggressive. Will be picked up by Azzy, and that is exactly what Talon need.
30 seconds. Lusty's found his way back up to offer some support over the top of Piano. The canisters of smoke thrown on either side, either door, to just stem the flow. There is still obviously big pressure and presence from that Echo on the backboard too. It was the round winner previously, and with only 15 seconds, well, it's looking likely it might be the winner again. There's the drop in. There's Lusty with the cover on the opposite side. The shotgun swings round. They find the kill. Lusty with the cover yet again. Takes care of one more. Can't quite find the third drop from the opposite side, but with the timer gone, Fnatic find their final defense 5-1 and have themselves a lot of opportunities to put themselves in the top 4.
Have a big opportunity here. Only need 2 more rounds into these next 6. And they will be on the attack. That's where they will start off. 1 will be enough for overtime. A overtime win, of course, would be enough in that case as well for both these teams. But Fnatic, they are the ones in the driver's seat. They are the ones that, of course, have a lot of VODs as well, and Talon know exactly how some of their setups look like. And as we do see that Frost being brought out, you can almost guarantee the shield again being in that bathtub, a Frost mat right next to it, just that default stuff that you will have to take care of if you want to go for that push.
Okie dokie, Talon. Slightly tumultuous on your attacks. Couldn't quite make things hit the mark. The pressure was good, but sometimes too late. And I guess let's see if Fnatic can be held to the same accord by you and your defenses. Similar setups, as you said. The Frost is the possibility of the pickup in the rotation here. It seems like they're going with a little bit more of the open play. The Melusi's gonna scream as soon as they come round, cavalcading the corner. Again, a very spread out hold. You're curious where she's going to end up and where that other Banshee charge, I mean, it's already been used, so she's just going for a bit of a roam underneath.
Might be going for a roam indeed. Maybe putting up some pressure. Of course, there's 2 impacts available, making some rotates, or just playing in the kitchen dining area, period. Hoping to draw some attention, use the impact grenade to rotate out, and, for example, use the hatch to do so. So there's plenty of opportunity here for Talon. However, they have a little margin for error. That is going to be the big thing of this half. It is Fnatic that is in the driver's seat. It's Fnatic that is currently leading 5-1 as they're taking care of the first castle. Oh, there's a second one. That's very unfortunate for them. They're not going to have the opportunity to look all the way through. Might have to get the Kali repelled up to take care of that one as well.
Clever, though. They went for something very pacey. They played a game of risk and reward, hoping they weren't quite in the situation. Canos almost suffered there for being a little bit out of position, but it's Stigs that gets the opener up high, and they drop one of those connecting bodies without even entering the building. Alfama finds Tomorrow and says, see you later, as he drops them underneath. Malusi attempted a run out from the garage and was suffered because of it. Fnatic, so quick to punish them, and they've barely even got close to the building.
Haven't even had to approach it yet. It was just having the opportunity to take them down before actually having to enter due to that run out, for example. Just bait them with a repel if you know they're there. Managed to get that kill, bringing yourselves up to a 3-on-5 situation. And, well, we've seen Talon lose these at the base of time, so it's up to Fnatic right now with these last 90 seconds to take as much control as quickly as possible and set themselves up for success. And APAC's doing exactly that, rappelling up onto that window, hoping to go for a little bit of a bait, maybe. No one is biting as of yet. Of course, already 2 men down. Talon do not want to take too much risk at this very moment in time. However, the shield is still there. 2 ADSs will be supporting it. It will be hard for Fnatic to get rid of that shield.
Well, they're playing with the aggro against this wall here. They're waiting to see if the sun shines on them in Solarium, but it's Iana and Lusty that's going to make sure, well, maybe a bit too bright as they blow up the cameras and give them a tougher time and a tougher eye. Pressure comes through against Lusty. They're well aware it's being watched, and even more as they just go through. Mad Dash Canos with the swing round from the bathtub gets the drop. 40 seconds left as Stig steps in to try and replicate what Iana could not with her replication. So Tex, what are you going to do on the window? It's actually Stigs that gets the first drop, and now they're looking for that Jaeger, but the smoke's going to make the approach a little bit tougher. Here comes a few flashes. Here comes some more pressure. No frags. They've just got to do it with a gun. Dropped by a frost map, but only Labyrinth left to try to weave them through all the many holes and possibilities and chances. Doesn't quite see the catch. There's the drop on the diffuser, but there's the call of where they are. There's a buck, and there's Fnatic on map point.
Mag there trying to knife the window as he jumped in, and due to that, had no opportunity of shooting the frost mat. Got down, but in the end it didn't matter. Managed to find one. Buck instantly sweeping around right there, making sure that there was no way out for the mute. With that, Fnatic find themselves up onto match point, and it's not just 1 match point, Fluke. It is going to be 5 match points, and one of them needs to be used. And if one of them gets used, it is going to be playoffs for Fnatic. And then after such a poor start of the season, where they were constantly at the bottom of the table, and after APAC 2020, of course, not having the best of seasons yet, also just coming shy of majors time and time again, they would finally be making it back. They would finally be making it into the playoffs, having the opportunity to fight for these SI points, like many might have hoped to see at the start of last year.
Well, Stigs, gotta kind of put your hands together for the performance you've been able to pull off today. Obviously, 12-3. Yeah, that's pretty good, but you gotta look at how frequently they're able to get themselves in as that opening engagement, that opening bit of pressure. A statistic that has actually kind of stumped Fnatic this season so far. In fact, at the beginning of the play day, according to CGG, he was the only one with a positive entry rating of +2. Yeah, that's going to go up a little bit today.
That is good. Yeah, that is going to go up quite a bit right now, because the 12-on-3 definitely a good showing for him, if not the best we've seen so far throughout this entire stage. And well, Talon, they really must be feeling it right now. They're completely being disassembled by Fnatic, and no matter what they've brought, the entry kills always seem to be sailing into Fnatic's way. And now they need to make sure that they are literally flawless. A overtime win is still enough. It's not like we've seen with Damwon Kia that they needed the full 3 points to be making it into the playoffs. Just beat Fnatic. That's all you're required to do. And the same goes for Fnatic. Just beat Talon.
Well, it's been so calm and confident so far, and steady droning is going to make sure they keep up that pace and pressure, not letting Talon have any moments to breathe. Stigs might find yet another entry stat here. Will it go his way? It does, and that is 1 more to add to the tally. 5 times he has been able to get that first kill, only suffering once against it, and only twice have Talon been able to get that entry stat, and that is par for the course for today. I said it might be a close game, but Fnatic, they're making sure it isn't.
Look at this quick mid-game read, by the way. They realize the fact that they're not going to be coming down from Solarium. So what the Frost is doing now is quickly relocating that shield. The Jaeger actually relocating those ADS charges just to be ready for the potential Fnatic push to come in. There's 90 seconds left on the clock. They have reused their utility. This might be what they need to win this round. Suddenly, everything has changed on the side. The Fnatic will need to adapt to this yet again with little time left.
Well, pressure is coming down into box. As we can hear, they actually spray wildly through the smoke to drop it. Another grenade bounces round, catches none of the utility. It looks like a Selma was able to pop off on one side, with the other getting the double on the straight entry into box. The drones go through, but it's a lot of angles and danger, and well, Talon are making sure that their presence is known, pulling back slowly and steadily to a little bit of a safer angle. Labyrinth has the drop from range, the last standing before, but this could be a big moment. The drone goes round first though, and it stings! Skeleton keyed his way through the man!
Seem to be well aware of the fact that a flank was coming in. Quickly shuts him down, and his Tex now opens up the window. Is going to be able to find a kill himself as well. Soldier finds a response. Canis will do so as well, and Styx now needs to push in. He needs to clean up. Gets the first, knows where the second is. Is it last man standing? It's Soldier right behind the piano, but it will not last. It's Tex to get the kill. It's Fnatic to go to playoffs yet once again. It's been a while. Throughout the entirety of APAC 2020, they weren't able to make it happen. And now, finally again, they live and they go to playoffs.
Everything was orange and black today, and I think it's one of those things where we probably want to fade to black on the sides of Talon. They were outplayed for a game that had the potential to be so close and so intense. Well, I mean, Fnatic overall, they were in control of the pace, but you gotta give credit to Styx for what was